Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you would like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so we're back here again tonight, and tonight we've got a really nice high-end PC, I guess you would say. So yeah, this is going to be Josiah's, get the actual name right. It's going to be his high-end, like, workstation slash gaming computer. So a bit of a multifunctional beast, this one. So it's going to be business during the day and gaming at night, essentially. So we got Nick here. Nick, how you going? Thanks for that 100,000 experience points, bro, in Pokemon Go. Appreciate that. Yes, this will be a good one. Hey Tim, how you going? Good to have you here as always. Yeah, Tuesday night. You got the day right.
That's right.
You got the day right. So yeah, it's
Sorry, back at work now.
what is it, like the 7th day of Christmas or some shit? Is that how it works? Like the 7th chocolate on the Advent calendar. That's how it works, right?
Or the cheese calendar.
Yeah, or the cheese one. The cheese one's the adult one. The chocolate one's for the kids. Yeah. All right.
Talon says hi.
Hey man, how you going? Alrighty, so let's go through the components here. So we've got a Ryzen 9 5950X for our CPU, so 16 cores and 32 threads of goodness. This is currently, still despite 12th gen Intel, the most powerful consumer CPU that you can get.
Darren on YouTube says hi.
Hey Darren, how you going? Good to have you here. So we've got the Aorus X570S Elite AX motherboard. So what's the S mean? Got any idea what the S means, babe?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
We have the X570S. What's the S mean?
I don't know.
So the X570, as you probably know, usually has that little fan on the chipset.
Yeah.
So this is a silent version. So it is passively cooled on the chipset.
Says, oh.
So no chipset fan on this version of the X570 boards. So if you see any of the ones that say X570S, that's what the S is all about there. Hey Caleb, how you going?
Talon says, I'm looking at your account and PCs and this.
Awesome, man. No, I'm glad you enjoy the content. So what else have we got down here? I won't talk about that yet. So for our storage, we've got plenty of storage. We've got a WD Black Gen 4 SSD for our main boot drive, and we've also got a 2 terabyte SATA SSD for a bit of extra storage there as well. And just a second, I'm just going to finish talking about the storage. We've also got a 4 terabyte hard drive here as well. So that is a total of 6.5 terabytes of storage there. So pretty good on the storage side of things. Ah yes, the Aorus Master, it's a good board. And yeah, you would notice on that X570 Aorus Master board, you would have the chipset fan. Whereas this one here, the Elite AX, this one doesn't have a chipset fan. It's just a new version. They bought out, basically AMD just released a refresh of that chipset, and they managed to do one with passive cooling. So yeah, this is just like the refresh new version of this motherboard. It's got AX Wi-Fi. I think the last version only had AC Wi-Fi. So a couple of other little improvements there with this. But essentially this is the new version of the X570 Elite with Wi-Fi. Where do I get my PC parts from? So some of it comes from just ordinary retailers. Some of it comes from wholesalers. So I buy a lot of stuff, stores that you'd be familiar with. So I buy a lot of stuff from Umart. Umart has some really good deals. Sometimes you have to buy from interstate to get the best pricing. So, but that can be,
It's really worth it.
yeah, it can be worth it. It can be worth it, but a little bit complicated to get the best price with them sometimes. But yeah, but other than that, yeah, like local wholesalers here in Brisbane and stuff like that. Also, there's a couple of other people down interstate who I deal with who run smaller wholesaling businesses and stuff, and from time to time I'll get of various things. Like I got a heap of these Gigabyte UD B560Ns from down in Melbourne at a good price, and these are saving people a bit of money on their budget PC builds for Christmas. So I buy parts from a variety of different places, but I don't buy.
Actually buy up though.
I don't buy up very much. I pretty much
Really good price.
really good deals I buy up on, but in general I just purchase every computer as an individual order almost. Everyone wants something slightly different, and I don't like to be the sort of guy who's, you know, got a vested interest to clear all this excess stock that I've got. I'd rather.
If you don't like the first quote $10, let him know.
Yeah, just let me know, man, because like I can do whatever parts you want. You know, I might just have not sized you up properly, which can happen online and even on the phone and stuff like that. I might not have sized you up, which means that I haven't read you properly. I haven't read what you're actually asking me for. The way you've communicated it to me, the way my brain's interpreted it, I think you've asked me for something different that prioritizes something different. So if you don't like the parts that I've got, just be like, yeah, can we go with this? And the answer's always yes, because other than certain key things, certain cases, power supplies, some memory, CPUs from time to time, yeah, you won't see me buying up on too much stuff. I try to avoid motherboards. I try to avoid. Oh well, you can't really buy up on graphics cards these days. If you could, I probably would. Camo Games is here. Hey man, how you going?
He says good news. I managed to fix the fan speed problem, even though it stuns a little, it doesn't turn off fully.
Yeah, okay. That was a really strange problem you were having there. If I remember right. Yeah, no matter what did you end up doing to fix it? That would be my question. So I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you to reply there. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Caleb, about where I get my parts from. So I'm the sort of person who's, I'm at a computer all day. I'm buying things all day, so I'm always looking for good deals. I'm part of a national group of PC business owners like myself, and we constantly share certain deals and stuff that are going around. So it's pretty complicated, but like I said, I do try to deal primarily with businesses here in Queensland because it simplifies everything. If anything goes wrong, if there has to be any returns, because it can become a logistical nightmare when you've got to move too many things around the place. Like say if you're in North Queensland, I'm in Brisbane, and then I've got your parts from New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. It becomes a bit complicated if something goes wrong.
Cammy says, and also my dad was asking me, how much do you charge for labour?
How much do I charge for labour? So labour is calculated at $88 an hour, including GST. So depending on how extravagant your build is and how long I estimate to do the work, that's how much you'll get charged for. So I'm in line. I'm more or less in line with what a business like PC Case Gear will charge for a PC build. About $250 would be sort of like an average kind of thing for like 3 hours labour. So that gives you an idea. If it's a more high-end build that's got a lot more going on, that's going to take me a bit longer, it's going to be a little bit longer. If it's a cheap build that's only going to take me an hour to put together or less, then it's not going to be as much labour. So that's pretty much how it works. Really simple. So I don't do flat rate PC builds like some of the bigger companies do, just because like they would do a whole heap of really simple builds and builds that are very similar. Whereas customers that come to me, they generally want something that's very individual. So I need to take that into consideration, that I'm going to have people with largely differing amounts of labour involved in their PC build. So that's why it's just work it out. Like, yeah, how much RGB, yeah, the cables, etc. etc. Yeah, how difficult that is to build in, etc. Alrighty. Yeah. Ah, that would have been it. Yeah.
And he wants to know, and also how do you charge for shipping costs? And he says, thank you for answering the questions.
No, you're right. But probably these questions are probably better for a just
like,
a message on Facebook,
Sydney,
because I can give
like
you all this information.
$35, $45.
Yeah, it depends on your
Expensive.
postcode. Like if you're
Heavy the PC
yeah,
is.
if you're out in a rural area, then obviously it's going to cost more than if you're in an urban area.
When you ship to that person in the middle of Whoop in WA, like, that was like $100 and something just for shipping.
That was more than that. I think it was,
was
closer
it?
to. I think it was closer to 200. That's out in the middle of.
Closest, like Harvey Norman's, like, you know, 800.
I told him how much the
away.
shipping was. This guy out in the middle of WA. I told him how much shipping was, and then he goes to me. He's like, "Oh, no, that's all right, because the nearest computer shop to me is Harvey Norman, and it's about 7 hours drive each way." So he's like, it'd be like a 14-hour all day ordeal.
Adventure.
Yeah, to just to go out there just to buy one. So he's like, yeah, I'll pay $200, have it delivered to my door, no worries. Alright, so I'm getting a bit distracted talking to all the people here. So we got 64 gigabytes of memory here. So RGB is not a priority in this build. We do have some RGB components. We're gonna have a little bit of RGB lighting, but the main priority here was to get 64 gigabytes of RAM with the option to expand to 128 if required in the future. And we've got ourselves a Thermaltake power supply here. It's a tough power. What model is it? GF1 850 watt. So this power supply comes with a 10-year warranty. It's got all of the fancy inclusions there that you'll see on the front of the box. It is an 80 plus gold unit, but like I say, you know, it's not, the 80 plus rating is not the be all and end all. In fact, these features here that they've written on the side of the box are much more important features in terms of why this power supply is a good one. Number one, it says ultra quiet. It has a hydraulic bearing fan. It has smart zero fan, which basically means that when the power supply is under a certain amount of load, the fan doesn't operate. So it just cuts out and is just passively cooled. It has low ripple noise, so it doesn't make a lot of noise when it's operating. So just the components inside it. It's got fully modular cables and 100% Japanese capacitors with a full 10-year warranty on the unit. So this one here, I believe this one was I think we got this on a Black Friday special. So I think this one was like $149, and it's normally more like $200. So I think Josiah got a I hope I'm saying his name right. It's Josiah or Josiah. Got a really good deal on this one. Well, I think there was originally a Cooler Master one in there, and then that Cooler Master one went off special, and then this one went on special. I think like $10 more than the Cooler Master one, and then I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get that one. So you got an extra $10 off me. All right, and so for our cooler here, we've got our InWin 360mm, the SR36 Pro. And so the cool thing about this cooler, excuse the pun, is that it has a twin turbine pump on it. So and also comes with a 5-year warranty as well. So and
I really like this cooler.
and the other good sell point of it is being only $180.
Yes.
So you can get a 5-year warranty on a cooler like from Corsair or something like that, but you're gonna pay in excess of $250 for a 360 millimeter one. So yep.
Coco says, I'd love to build a PC but can't afford it. This guy's fun to watch.
Ah, thank you. Like the nice comments there.
The good feedback.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we've gone over everything other than our Deep Cool McCube 310 case here, but we'll have a look at that when we get to it. I'm going to get this graphics card out of the way. Our RTX 3080. And let's have a look at this motherboard. So this is the first time I've built on this board because it's a brand new board, brand new chipset. Well, not really a new chipset, but a new kind of chipset. Alrighty, so we got our Aorus magnetic Wi-Fi antenna, which is good. We got some M2 screws. We got this awesome little clip that I love, and we got some SATA cables. So pretty basic inclusions in there. Do we get? Oh yeah, we get a Aorus Go Faster badge there as well.
Oh yeah.
And did we get? Ah, no CDs. No CDs. They're finally. They must be finally out of the massive pile of DVDs that they have in storage somewhere. If they're no longer including them. Alrighty. Feels like a very nice board. It's very heavy. It's probably got a dual layer copper PCB, and it most certainly looks like it. So we've got a copper layer on the top and the bottom under a coating, obviously. So let's have a look. I'm just having a quick look around it because I've literally not built on this board before, and I'm just going to remove the sticky while I look around. Oh yeah, and I can probably get a cable through there, maybe. 6 horizontal. Yeah, okay, cool. Thunderbolt. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. I'm just looking at it. Fuck man, she's a ball buster, eh?
Oh.
Alright, so let's have a look at this motherboard. So we've got a sneaky fan header up the top here, 8 pins of CPU power there. We've got really nice heat sinks here on our MOSFET DRM. Look at that, that's really nice finish for them. It's all metal there, and it's bolted into the board. No little plastic clips or anything like that on that. We've got our AM headers up here, CPU and CPU optional. We've got 2 RGB headers here, a 5 volt and a 12 volt. We've got dual channel memory here, so 4 slots, 2 channels. We've got another fan header up here. We've got our main ATX power here for our motherboard. We've got a USB-C front panel connection there. We've also got 6 horizontally orientated SATA ports and a horizontally orientated USB 3.0 connector.
Nick says stop complaining, mate. Chose
Oh, Jesus. Alright, so down the bottom here we've got we got our front panel connection header plus diagnostic speaker header. That's everything here in this black box. that's where this little connector that I say that I love goes. Because I get to put all of those thin little power cables and stuff into this adapter and then just plug the adapter in as one big plug in the bottom there. Makes my life a bit easier. Alrighty, we've got a clear Cmos header, which is two little pins just above the main header at the bottom there. Got a vertically orientated USB 3. Got another fan header down here. Two USB 2.0s. Trusted platform module header. Thunderbolt header. Two more RGB headers, a 12 volt and a 5 volt, and our front panel audio and LED header. So all of these little gold capacitors here, this is all our audio. You can see you've got this amp up audio there, no sticky over it. Usually they put a bit of sticky over that. So all this stuff here is our audio system. Going around the back of our board, what have we got for our audio? So we've got Sony Philips digital interface there, and we've got our surround sound and microphone. We've got 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, 4 USB 3.2s, plus including one Type-C, got a flash BIOS button there. We've got 4 USB 3.2s over here. We've got a HDMI output, which won't be in use for this build. We've got our Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1, and we've also got another 4 USB 2.0s there as well. Ah, nice. Oh, mate, Chris, absolutely, man. I love that. I love that thing, eh? Like, if it was up to me, I think I'd build every motherboard with an AORUS board just for that connector. Yeah, it just makes my life so much easier. Asus have another one that's like kind of like that. I like this design better. If you're familiar with the Asus one, it's just like a oh, how would you explain it? It's just like another header you plug in over the top of it, so it's got like a thick bit of plastic with pins on the top of it, and then you just plug in the pins, and then you plug the whole thing down over the pins. Problem is, it sticks out like heaps far from where the board is, so that's why I don't really like it. Anyway, just this stuff in the middle here, so it looks like we've got 3 M.2 slots. We have our passively cooled X570 under here. That's quite an elaborate looking heatsink they've got on the X570 there. I guess to make up for the fact that there's no fan on it. Then we've got, what's that? Is that a 2X4 slots down here? So X16 length, but only connected X4 of the way along. You might be able to see the bottom slot, the pins a quarter of the way along, glistening in the light there. And anyway, that's, oh, there's a sneaky fan header and a sneaky 12 volt RGB header up here. That's the only other thing on this board. Other than that, that's all the main systems on this motherboard. So let's get started with our build. Okay, I should have a knife around here somewhere. So our Ryzen 9 5950Xs don't ever come with included coolers, and you wouldn't want to use just a stock cooler on a CPU like this. And do you need the extra power connector with this CPU? Absolutely not. Ryzen 5000 are very power efficient CPUs. Really impressive power consumption on them. So even if you overclock, you don't need a lot of wattage. They become unstable well before you need that extra wattage. So the 8 pins that they've included there is rational, like science-based kind of logic there from Gigabyte. Yeah, so like some of the some of the Intel chips will draw in a lot more current there when they're being pushed and overclocked. Yeah. Hey Mick, how you going? Haven't seen you for a couple of days, mate. Christmas, eh? It's one of those. They say it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, I beg to differ.
I think it's like the most wonderful time of the year if you're like in New York on holidays and it starts snowing and you're like, oh, look at that! How nice is it?
Depends on how much money you've got.
Well, if you're holidaying in New York, I'm assuming you got enough money to be there. So.
Yeah, well, what about the homeless people in New York? That's only like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to be downer.
you're trying to do a major downer. Alrighty.
Mix is good at working like a dog.
Yeah, no, I'll be working over Christmas.
I feel you do. I've got to work Christmas Eve.
And then we got to go on holidays, but then part of the holiday feels like work because we've got to go to the funeral for my nearly 100-year-old,
101.
nearly 101-year-old, I should say, grandfather. So
You had some pretty good innings.
yeah, 101's not bad.
Togetherness. Togetherness.
I still need to put some stuff together.
Yes, you do.
I need to like write a speech, and it has to be like a non-depressing speech, because I know him well enough to know that the concept of anyone being upset at him dying at nearly 101 would make him like angry. He'd be like, nah, that's ridiculous. None of my family are gonna feel bad about me. That's the sort of guy. That's the sort of guy he was. He would be like, nah, wouldn't take it. Yeah. Ah, yes. Yeah, good fun, eh? But yeah, not everyone can watch the videos live and stuff like that, so. Yeah, absolutely.
He was like the best old man ever. He would never hurt a fly ever.
So, looks like I'm going to assume that these are all Gen 4 on this board. I'll put it in this middle slot so the other two slots are easily accessible. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm
he
gonna.
was a sign writer back in the day.
Yeah, he used to be a sign writer, like before they had like printed advertisement signs going up at like bus stops and stuff.
Because he was like.
Yeah, he was considered essential. His job was considered essential, and he was told he's not to go to war. we need people to like write signs. It's insane.
Yeah.
The world's changed. Alrighty. So we've got our M2 SSD, our memory, and our CPU installed. So now we can turn our attention to this cooler. these. This is a very chunky cooler block with the twin turbine.
Oh, I really like this one.
Yeah, it's a nice cooler. The hoses are really nice, and they're on individual. They're on both sides of the cooler, so you can get the angle however you want in your case. One of the annoying things with the coolers, with these cables, is getting them just on the right angle for how you're positioned inside the case that you chose to build on. So that's always good. And we got some fans to mount here. These are the same fans that are in our 3-pack over there. So we'll have all matching fans for this build. It doesn't always matter to have matching fans because there are certain fan designs that are like sort of copied by a lot of manufacturers for their like cheaper looking ones. So normally you can mix and match some of the cheaper, more basic RGB fans, and they look the same. However, these particular fans, they don't look quite like all the other ones, so we made sure that we got the right type there. So that looks like an Intel bracket. And what do we get for AMD? Oh, yep, sweet. So I'm going to put this up here for a little bit, so I need to get the board back. So I need to remove the standard AMD mounting brackets here, but not the back plate, just the brackets on the front. So get rid of these. So if you're doing it, you should keep these just in case you ever need them. You want to change the cooler to something else. Me, I've got like a box of 20 of them, and I'm never going to need that many. So anything that I throw out can just go in the bin. And all I need is these 4 little bolts. So it looks like they're not symmetrical, which is good. Makes it easier for me to work out what the fuck's going on. And that they fit in above the board there. They don't. Yeah, they're not going to make any contact with the motherboard when I screw them in. They just screw in like that. And so yeah, pro tip, get the cooler right when you build it and the board's out of the case like this. It's way easier to do this when it's sitting in front of you like this, as opposed to when it's upright in the case. Like, I can still do it, and if you need that done, it's something that I'll happily do, and I can do it quickly. But it is a lot more, fiddly. That's the word. Alright, so that's all ready to go. So now we need to get the right bracket on our cooler. So we don't need these ones, these are for the Intel one, but we do need these ones for the AMD. So let's have a look.
Buddy.
Okay, so this is going to be front mounted. Do we have room? Do we have room to do it like this? I think we do. Let's just double check our case to make sure I can put it like that. Yeah, that'll fit like that. Oh, we might be a little.
Put it in
We might be a little bit. We might be a little bit tight, actually. No, we're not going to be able to do it like that.
No.
It's going to have to go like that. Then yeah, it'll go in like that. Yeah, like I said, these can be adjusted, so don't worry too much about that. Alrighty. Yep, just put the cooler right down on top of the brackets that you need. Yeah.
Chris wants to know, have you ever played with systems with refrigeration installed?
Refrigeration? No, I can't say I have. I haven't done any of the liquid nitrogen overclocking.
I really want to play around with that.
You want to play?
one day.
You want to play around with liquid nitrogen overclocking?
Yeah.
Maybe when we get our shop.
Yes.
I mean, it's you're just pouring liquid nitrogen over a CPU, right?
Might be fun. Right?
I haven't seen you adventuring into overclocking on your PC.
But when do I have the time, Tim Oliver? Maybe we need to do something.
Let me see.
Tim,
Yeah.
it's Harry says my dream job is to be just like you, hopefully.
Oh, that's awesome.
And Chris says 9 gigahertz on 5600X. Go hard.
Sorry, what was that?
9 gigahertz on
Ha 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 ha! Hey, why not? We'll
That
get
sounds like fun.
we'll get there eventually. Okay. Let's get this on the board. Let's get our fans in and we'll go from there.
Tim,
Yeah.
tell us how much of most of your PCs.
How much?
Most of your PCs.
Okay, so the average PC that I sell, the average gaming PC, is between $2,000 and $3,500. So yeah, I should have said between $2,500 and $3,500 dues. So obviously, there are people who buy cheaper systems, and I'm probably over-indexing on cheaper systems coming into Christmas. That's just with all the awesome mums and dads out there buying their kids gaming PCs for Christmas. But
Yeah,
like
we've had a
for
few
for an
so
for an adult who wants to buy a decent gaming PC, you spend, yeah, like I said, between $2,500 and $3,000. That's pretty much the sweet spot. If you spend more than that, it's sort of like diminishing returns. And then if you spend less than that, you're sort of not getting the best value for money. You kind of like, it's like you're not saving money, you're just getting more ripped off, that sort of thing. Like, you know, looking at all the jars of Vegemite, none of them are on special and they're all different prices. You know, the one that's, the big pack, the value pack is always cheaper than the, you know, the little one. It's like looking at the little one going, oh, that's only $2, I'm going to get that, that's better. I'm saving money. You're not actually saving money, you're just getting more ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do this capacity of the RAM.
So this has got 64, so this is two 32 gigabyte sticks here. So this PC will be doing video editing and stuff like that. And we've gone with just the 232 so we can expand to 64 there in the expand to 128 if needed in the future. Alrighty, so this is just going to be situated like this in our case. So we're going to make sure that we orientate our fans correctly. So because these fans are going to be mounted inside the case, we need them to be pulling air through the radiator through the front of the case in this configuration. So very easy to peel these stickers off. Do they think of that? Probably not. Nah, I don't think so. No, I'm not going to be able to reverse sticker them. So you will see the brand on the back of the fans, but that's okay. RGB wasn't a priority in this build. It's just a case of, hey, a good value cooler with a 5-year warranty has RGB. May as well have some lighting in a case with a glass panel, right? You can just leave it on like a nice ambient white if you want. Did you know white is the most energy intensive colour to show on your fans? Because it's a 255 level saturation of red, blue and green. So it's actually like the LEDs running at full power to do the white. So it uses more power to do white than pretty much any other colour. And that was a fun thing that I found out with Leon Lee SL fans. They wouldn't play nice. They wouldn't do white without flickering due to low voltage or low wattage through a single line. So I had to do multiple groups to balance the wattage so it wouldn't flicker when you did just pure white. Every other colour was fine. Just white. Just over wattage, and yeah, very annoying. Leon Lee's good. I like Leon Lee cases. Got a little bit of improvement to do there with their fans, but yeah, we can cut them a little bit of slack, I think. Sweet. Alrighty, that's all prepped. What do I need from here? I don't think I really need much of this stuff. I don't need any of this Intel stuff. Might keep some of this. Don't know how handy the block bracket will be, but the back plate could come in handy. Got that in there, won't need that. Do need that. Okay, so now we can turn our attention to this case. Yeah. Yeah, oh definitely, man. Like, he needs it for work, so it was gonna be a pretty no-nonsense system.
This is added
Yeah, so it's one of those things that, you know, if you, even if you just had 24, that'd make a big difference for a lot of games. See, but you'll find that a lot of them, like the RAM will max out. It's not like it needs 32. It needs 18 is good. 19 is good for a lot of them. Just 16's not quite enough.
Yeah.
That's where we're getting now. So I'm just going to quickly put our 2 terabyte SSD and our 4 terabyte hard drive in this case. Yeah.
So it's now 256 gigabytes, and it's going to last 50 games.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, RAM's one of those things, right? Like, you know, you need just enough, but once you get to a certain point, more doesn't help you. So you got to understand your memory requirements.
More is not better sometimes.
Not always. Sometimes people ask me, they're like, oh, like show them a quote for a PC with 32 gigabytes of RAM, and then they're like, oh, so I'm just gaming. Is there any advantage of going 64? And I'm just like, nah, man, no. You'd just be wasting.
Just gaming? No.
You'd just be wasting your money.
Doing other stuff other than just gaming all the time, then yeah, you might make some use of it.
Yeah, like video editing.
Definitely.
Most people video editing will sort of cap out in the 50s. So that's why they'll go to 64. Sometimes if they're working with like a lot of samples and chucking it into one, they need a bit more memory for that. Sometimes they're working with like 8K plus footage and stuff like that, and running a lot of different functions that can sometimes cause the RAM to get over that 64. But yeah, like I said, it's very, very uncommon for the average user. Even if your business is video editing, you're probably going to be fine with 64. That's why I say to most people, like, you're probably going to be fine with 64. But what you do, you just do it as 2 32 gigabyte sticks, and then you've got the opportunity to expand to 128 if you need to. It just becomes a, do I need this? Do I not need this? And you'll know pretty fast when you get to work whether you need it or not. I mean, say you'd probably be able to know whether you'd benefit from it in like a couple of weeks, realistically. But I'd say, you know, if you're just working with like normal sort of footage, 1080, 4K, 1440, probably not going to benefit too much for more than 64. But yeah, you know your workload better than me. I could just advise based on the average and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, like so all my PCs are built to order, but I have like a 96-hour turnaround on new PCs, provided that everything is available here in Brisbane, local wholesalers and stuff. Then I can build a PC for you within 96 hours. So that's my sort of average turnaround. If I need to order in a graphics card from Interstate or something like that, you can add that lead time to that 96 hours. So it might take 3 days to get here. So, you know, if that's the case, it might be more like a week turnaround before you get your PC. But in general, like no one waits for like a month for a PC from me or anything like that. I don't do orders that far in advance because pricing changes and stuff like that. Different things will go on special. There'll be different deals available and stuff like that. And I'm I'm not brand loyal or anything like that. So as soon as a company releases something that's like new and is like better value, better price to performance and stuff, I just start switching to that for my, for a particular option, if you know what I mean. So
Process those. It holds the FPS a lot better. That makes scores of single game. That 17.8 gigabytes of RAM.
yeah, easy. Yeah, like I said, it gets like just above 16, and you get a bit of a benefit. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this case a little bit closer. So, as you see at the, it's zoomed right in. So as you can see at the top and on the front, it looks like a solid panel. But if we look closer, it actually has air vents all the way up and all the way along the top, and obviously on the other side as well. And speaking of the other side, so you get an included 4-device fan controller. However, if you've got high-powered fans, I do recommend only plugging in 3 devices to this fan controller. Because it's an unpowered controller, this is essentially a 4-fan splitter cable, but it looks like a controller. So just a little bit of a call out on that one. I like seeing it in the case. There's a good inclusion there. Makes my life a bit easier. But yeah, don't plug 4 high-powered fans into that, because you might find when you try to run them all on max through that controller, you might end up with 3 of them spinning and the other one just stops when it goes onto max, or something like that, because the power won't. It'll go to the first one, second one, third one, then the 4th one will lack the wattage, sort of thing. So just a bit of a call out there, but overall it's a pretty good case to build in, especially if you're after something a little bit more discreet. So anyway, let's have a look at this power supply. Big, massive Thermaltake power supply box. And we get our nice little Thermaltake bag. And our power supply comes in a nice little fabric protector. Yep. You're in Sydney, yeah. So we ship nationwide. So if you're interested in a quote on something, just send me a message. And one of the other services I offer, it's normally something that I do and offer to people locally in Brisbane, is same day PC builds. So if you're in a pinch and you need a PC and you need something that's not like just something from JB Hi-Fi or something like that, you need a proper custom built PC with good specs and stuff like that, you need it in a day, you can call me up and arrange that to be done. So if you are interstate and you want something done really, really fast and shipped off ASAP, I can do that. It just costs a little bit extra than a normal build, that's all. So anyway, this is our 850 watt Thermaltake power supply. So fully modular, so we've got to plug in the cables that we require. And on the back here, it's got our little switch here for the Smart Zero fan. It's also got a little protector there over the power cable there. And if I look inside, it's a very nicely put together unit. It looks like there is an LED light on the power supply, as you might be able to see a bit of a light ring around the fan there. I'm not sure if that's just a white ring or whether it will actually turn on this model. We can have a look at that. Not that we're going to see it in this case. It'll be mounted face down, but you will see a little bit at the back there. So,
Very good.
all right. Now we've got this big bag of cables. So we're not going to need all of it. And what I'll do is I'll fill this bag up with random bits of PC things, bits of thermal paste and bolts and all other good stuff. I turn these into little show bags for people. If you're buying a high-end thing like this, you can at least get some of the stuff that I have lying around for free. So it'll at least save you, you know, having to buy any of this sort of stuff, you know. So this is our main power here for our motherboard. So we need to plug that one in. This is essential.
Tim,
Yep.
this one wants to know how long will it take to send to Sydney and come with games. We install the applications for you to install
Yes.
your games.
So
like
so
Steam, etc.
with modern PC games, right? If you're unaware, there's applications that sort of like it's sort of like Netflix and Stan and stuff like that. And you can either, with these services, you can either subscribe, which is sort of just like Netflix and Stan. When you subscribe, you can play the games that are offered on these services. If not, if you don't want to subscribe, say you don't play too many games, you just play like one game, then you can just buy that game and it becomes you own that's linked to your account. So that's one way of doing it. The other way is, like I said, subscribing to the services, and then they'll give you access to all of their stuff, but then it's on like a monthly subscription basis. So you just need to decide whether subscribing to the various service. There's 4 main ones that people usually use. You just have to decide whether that's right for you. Yeah.
It says Tim isn't stingy on freebies. Trust me.
Alright. Yeah, that'll be fine. We don't need our second CPU power cable. We do need one SATA cable. And our graphics card, we have 3080, so we're gonna need at least one more graphics card power cable. Yeah.
This one says some of them sell PCs with games. I'm just watching on Facebook.
Some of them sell PCs with games. Yeah, no, so I don't do that.
We're not gonna purchase.
The problem with that is I don't make accounts. No. I don't make accounts for people because I don't know your email address and all that. Usually people have their own accounts that they want to create. It's better to just roll with that. See, the thing is, probably what you might be missing is the fact that there are free-to-play titles and titles that you pay to play.
Yeah.
So games like Fortnite and Call of Duty and those sort of games that your kids might be talking to you about, they're free to play, so you don't have to pay any money for them. So that's why I don't install games, because people can play things for free, and if they want to download something that's paid for or subscribe to the service, they can do it. I download the clients, so Steam, Origin, Epic Games, and Battle.net. So you've got the apps installed on your computer, and then what you can do is you just decide what you want to do, but you've got to have to make your own account to download the games, if that makes sense. So I don't do that because I don't make people accounts. Because if I do that, then you forget your password, then you call me up going, "Oh, I can't get into my account. You made it for me." And yes, like as you can imagine, I can't do that. Yeah.
This one says, anyway, it's a great job. I like your job here.
Ah, thanks, man. No, I stumbled across this pretty much by accident, just because one person was really keen to see their PC being built.
Yeah, and they wanted you to take
They wanted me to take photos while I was building, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, how about I just do it live, man? Like, seriously? I'll just do a live stream for you.
It's easier.
It's easier. Then I can just build it. I don't have to stop while I'm doing it and take photos of it, because that sounds very distracting to me. All right.
So,
Yeah.
songs with the last price with one of the faster games.
Sorry.
What's the last price for one of the faster games?
Honestly, you're really better messaging me on Facebook, and we can actually talk about this in a bit more detail, because I need to show you some stuff and all that. Because like it is with a lot of people, there's usually a gap in people's knowledge, and until we sort of close that gap a little bit, or at least try to bridge it, yeah, we need to have a chat, so we're on the same level with things. Because I don't want you to I don't want you to have the wrong thing in your head, if that makes sense. Okay, so we've got our power supply installed with the cables that we require. And so, let's plug it in. I'm just going to plug in this SATA cable first. We've got two SATA devices back here. They are separated by a little bit of distance, but we'll get them sorted from the word go. Sweet as. So now we've got our CPU power cable, our motherboard power cable, and two for our graphics card. Then we've got the rest of these up here. So we've got USB 3, got our front panel connections. Yep. Yeah, all my PCs come with warranty, so that's no problem.
Tim wants to know, Tim says, I'm glad you decided to do it live. I've learned so much from you.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, no, so if you're after seeing another guy that does something similar to me in another country, you can look up Kerry Holzman on YouTube.
He's from Canada.
No.
No? He's
He's in Arizona.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he's in Arizona. That's why he's like always sweating in summer and stuff. You see that? He's drinking Gatorade all the time.
Yeah.
He's out in Arizona.
Oh.
He wants to move to Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's Michigan. It's Michigan or Wisconsin or somewhere up that way.
One of those nice cool places.
Seriously, did anyone see where that went?
What?
I opened this packet with the thing and it flicked somewhere. I have no idea where it went.
Here it is.
Oh, fuck. Alright, so now I'm going to put these little connectors into this. It's going to make my life a lot easier. Let's get our reset switch. And that just clicks in. We've got our power switch on the opposite side. And that'll just click in. And then we've got our power LEDs. The one that we can't reverse the polarity on. Every time I say that word, it just makes me think of Rick and Morty. There's a brick that works more with wood than polarity plating. Alrighty. So everything's looking pretty good back there. We might turn our attention to these fans here. So we've got another 3 RGB fans to add.
You're gonna put them inside? Okay.
Yeah, so these are going, these are two
yeah,
on the top
that's right.
and one on the back. So we'll have three in and 3 out. So nice balanced airflow. You shouldn't have any problems with heating with this configuration. We do have a plain black fan to remove. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, that's generally the best way to contact me. You can contact me by email as well. The problem with email is I'm not like constantly checking my email. So I check it periodically. So you might not get an immediate response from me by email. It might be the same day or it might be the next day. Whereas if you talk to me by Facebook, unless I'm completely swamped, you'll normally get a reply pretty much momentarily. So okay, so we're going to put this fan straight up in the top position there. And so you should always try and position this back fan as close to the top as possible, unless a cooler that you're mounting to the top is like preventing you. Ooh, jeez. It screwed it in too much then.
Huh?
Yeah.
Too much?
Yeah. It went on an angle then.
Oh, okay.
Now I've got 2 of them and now I can. This fan's not gonna move, man.
She ain't going to do it.
No. Okay, so we've got some fans to go on the top. So we can just pop off this top panel. Yeah.
Someone sent a message through Messenger who says, okay, I just need PC information like hard drive, plus RAM, or AMD, whatever information.
Yeah, definitely, man. We can have a chat. I don't like the shape of this. Alrighty. Sweet as. Alrighty, we've got all of the fans installed in our case. We will have to take this front panel off next because we're going to have to put our radiator in. But now we can focus on getting the board in the case. And go. So we've got the cables for our cooler all sorted. This way out. Other way, please. good. Okay. There we go. Bit of techno music for you. Oh, nothing, I'm just feeding this cable through. Alrighty, so we've got our first two bolts in, which means we're practically done. When you don't drop the bolts. Now I need to remagnetise this screwdriver, that's what it is. What's up?
Just
It's everyone's favourite part right now, the screwing in of the bolts.
it's the most boring part ever.
Yeah, I think the plugging in of the cables is rated high.
Everyone loves cooking beautiful mud.
What's that?
I said everyone loves cooking beautiful mud.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so we've got this one here. And I should have another one. should have another controller, I'm pretty sure. Oh no. No, don't mind me. It's just these fans here on the cooler. They have a different connection. It's like looks like a Corsair 4-pin connection. And then they go to the standard 5-volt there. Now, as for these ones, I think this is the one where you can like potentially daisy chain fans. Yeah, that looks sweet. Just enough room for that. Look at that, it's made for it. Okay. Let's get these on this main bunch of cables. Okay, so I'm going to plug these 3 fans into our controller here. And I'm going to tie them off there. So they're a little bit messy, these cables. Sweet as. So they'll just sit bunched up there with our controller. We've got this plug here that's going to go to the motherboard for the controller there. And then we've got some 5-volt RGBs to daisy chain up. So up. So I think we had a 5-volt RGB header down bottom here somewhere. now we've got one plugged into the motherboard, we can just go ahead and plug them all in like this. And we'll put a cap on that N1 there. And we'll leave them for now because what I'm going to do I'm not going to cable tie any of these down, but I'm going to put them in the corner and then I'm going to wrap this CPU power cable. Let's just not get any of our wires crossed here. I'm going to wrap the CPU cable around up here. You just plug it in. And I'm just going to hold it all in place with this CPU power cable. Very good. And then that CPU power cable will hold in all those other RGB cables. You've got the fans tied down there. That's all connected. We've just got one cable here to go to the motherboard. And I think we had a fan header down the bottom here, didn't we? We sure did. We can go ahead and look into that. And we can also plug in our front panel connections. What else have we got? Got some front. Come on, bastard. Get through there. Sweet as. So we just got this USB 3 cable. And we're just going to plug that in. Excellent. Well, everything's all plugged in. I don't have to run any other cables behind the board or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down now.
Yeah. Dinner's ready.
That's going on. Alright, that's a bit better. Alright, we're going to go ahead and looks like it's rubber grommet. No, we're going to go ahead and install our SATA cables. Awesome. So we've got a couple of SATA cables here to plug in a bit later. We've got our main power for our motherboard. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now we just got our graphics card. Excellent. So now it's time to put our RTX 3080 in this rig. They're always such heavy cards compared to the others, the 3080s, etc. Nearly done, yep.
Yes, my friend.
So here it is. Alrighty.
Can I?
Yeah, go for gold.
It's like, yeah, we do all this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to peel those stupid.
Oh,
I hate them.
I always had it. Stupid. No wonder why you don't like these things.
Yeah. I don't know why you get excited about it.
It's sticky. They
She's
don't
obs-
include the sticky when I get new plastic stuff at work, so this is my fix. You don't understand. Other people who like peeling sticky
Yeah, I know. I don't
totally
fully.
understand where I'm coming
I
from.
don't fully. I still don't fully understand.
Oh, you never will. Assholes.
Come on.
They're sticky over that and you just can't get it.
Oh well.
That's, what
That's
sounds
not.
like
That's.
assholes.
It's not gonna. It's not gonna stop the card from
No.
cooking. Look, this graphics card support bracket is in the way.
Ooh. Maybe that might be some use. No?
Yeah. For this card, yeah. So when you go 3080, it's a long-term investment, and it's also a very heavy card because it uses a lot of power, and it has a very, very good cooling system on it. It weighs a lot. Even like the crap quote unquote 3080s are like very, very high powered and have massive coolers on them.
So,
Yeah.
this convinces any graphics card users and his PCs and say it'd be a dream since I play on laptop, but if I do get a PC, I'm getting it from you.
Oh, awesome, man. But yeah, you won't look back going from laptop to PC.
No.
Unfortunately, if you don't know about PCs, it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking, oh, laptops and PCs are all the same. They've got the same sounding names to them. i5, i7, etc., etc. Okay, so all we've got to do now is position our cables. I'm liking that nice loop around there. Yeah, sorry, that's good.
Tim's dirty finger marks.
And yeah, I think we're definitely gonna
I
have to come in from
really
the top
like
over
the
here.
mirror and that. You can almost do your makeup on that. Almost.
Christine ranking coolers by whether you can put your makeup on or flexing.
Simon says very nice. I really like saying Simon says.
You really like saying
Well,
Simon Says.
Remember the game? Simon Says?
Yeah. Actually, I remember like the name, but I don't remember how to play the game.
No, neither, but I really remember the game. We used to play it all the time at primary school.
So one of the good things about running your cables for your graphics card around this way is you get them really tangled up. I'm just trying to get a little bit of extra room out of them. I want this to be nice and
Having a little hard time now.
it's just these cables are like just long enough to route this way. Excellent. So you'll see it better when there's a bit of light on. Excellent.
Simon says, I'm just waiting until you finish and see how it is.
Alrighty, so this is the moment of truth now. We've got everything hooked up, but do we have any dead parts?
That's the question.
Do we have some faulty RAM? Is our graphics card dead on arrival? Who knows? Stick around to find out. I don't even know at this stage.
happy.
Oh, which button am I pushing?
Oh, jeebus. Sounds like a cyclone.
They're high velocity fans, these ones. That's why I was talking about it earlier. Alright, you want to share the screen? Because I think we're just about to post.
Oh.
Here we are. Alrighty.
So
Yeah.
it's just turned on. Say, well, say
It's
it's alive.
okay. So we don't have anything plugged into our CPU fan. So I'm going to put all of them onto pulse width modulation. Yep. Let's get our Windows USB. Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of so amazing, great job. It's pretty good actually. I like this one.
And
Really like
custom
that
install.
tool.
There we go. Alrighty, so now I can plug in our hard drive and our SSD.
So,
Yeah.
this one says it's Windows 10, not 13.
Oh man. Well, they got Windows 11 now. Well, we're gonna have to use at least one zip tie. Sorry.
Someone says 11, so.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't install Windows 11 other than on request at the moment because it's new and there's bugs and yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nick wants to know, is it worth doing the free upgrade to Windows 11 with my current setup? Keep doing stuff like Windows 11 is only necessary with 12 Jan.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about Windows 11 yet, man. I don't think anyone.
I need that.
I don't think anyone needs it at this stage. It's the upgrade that nobody asked for.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't ask for like some other thing I needed to add to my PC to work Windows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but they changed that because that was a
Don't like change.
that was a debacle.
Nick says would have been happy if it stayed Windows 7 to be honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that.
Windows 8.
Yeah, a lot of people were quite happy with Windows 7.
XP was my favourite, I think. Other than Windows
Oh
95.
no.
I did like XP though. There
XP
some
was
stuff.
fine at the time, but then by the time 7 came around, I realised how shit XP really was.
Yeah,
If that
I
makes
guess.
sense. Well, it's not shit. It was a pioneering piece of software.
It's too early. Nick says Windows 95 is my favourite. Age of Empires. Yes! Yes!
Original Age of Empires.
Oh my god, that game is the best.
What's up?
Nick says straight out British grey box.
Okay. Sweet as. So App Center's automatically installing for us. Nice magnetic Wi-Fi antenna. I think I might have to use more than my 2 customary zip ties out the back, just because of that magnetic panel. I know, right? Are we really? Are we really like going to be okay? Yeah.
Ryan says, I love how it says, get started, or maybe later. We all know it should say, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Nah.
Or, nah, never. Right.
The Australian edition. Yeah, nah. Nah, yeah, and yeah, nah.
There literally is a song called Yeah Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah. Nah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah. Sorry, I'll get it right eventually. I'm definitely Australian. No, I'm from Queensland. So apparently, I learnt this when I went to Western Australia. Apparently, Queenslanders have the most Australian sounding accent out of anyone in the country. I didn't know that because I just grew up here and I was just like,
Yeah. But I guess we've been to every other state and
Yeah, well, we haven't been to
except for
Tasmania.
Tasmania.
We haven't been to Tasmania.
Little territories and little states of Tasmania.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close the dialogue box. Thank you very much. Yeah, apparently, but not southeast Queensland. There is a part of southeast Queensland where the bogans hang out, and that's called Logan. You see, it's full of bogans because it rhymes. So it's simple. So Ipswich used to be full of bogans.
No. Lowood. Don't forget Lowood, Slowood.
Oh, Lowood, Slowood, yeah, but that's another issue. That's because they moved the jail out there, and now that's where the cheap rent near the jail is.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, off on a bit of a tangent there. But yes, no, southeast Queensland's not full of bogans because the other states have been gentrifying the region for the last 20 years. They grow up down there and then they decide, oh, it's too cold. We don't like the winters anymore. So we're going to move up to the Gold Coast.
I read an article today. People are leaving Melbourne and Sydney in droves to move to southeast Queensland.
Yeah, where southeast Queensland, the total region, will be a complete urbanised block from Tweed Heads all the way up to Noosa by 2035, 2040. That's the projections. So we might actually be, we might catch up to Melbourne one day. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, oh, Gympie. Oh.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah, but wait until Gympie's like, an outer suburb.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to get my SSD and get some other software installed on this thing.
Ipswich and Logan combined both as bad.
Oh, I wouldn't say Ipswich. See, I lived in Ipswich, and Ipswich.
When we moved, they're really up and coming in Ipswich.
Yeah, it is.
It's got a bad rep, but
there are certain suburbs in Ipswich.
they've done a lot of really good stuff, in the last 5 to 10 years in Ipswich.
Yep.
Especially now, since they're redoing that mall centre.
Yeah.
It's going to
Okay.
be like a South Bank kind of thing going on.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we'll put down some custom icons so we don't make a mess of the place. Alright, Acronis WD, absolutely. We've got App Center. AMD Ryzen Master, yeah. So that application needs to be on the desktop to install properly. Oh, what? I hate it when it does this. There we go. Something wanted to... Something decided to, like, force a restart on me. Bastard.
She tries, but yeah. Hungry?
Okay. Some of this other stuff going on. Alright, something's going wrong there. there's an issue with. Oh no, looks like it's finally going to do it. I think that will be everything. Just Epic Installer. Set up MSI Afterburner quickly. If it wants to do it. Alright, so while that's doing that, let's just quickly set up our 2 storage devices. There we go, that's our drives. And Office is installed. Okay, yeah, I don't care about that. New version of that. Okay. Right, let's get MSI Afterburner ready for some benchmarks. Let's get our fan tuned. It's a long list with the 3600X, sorry, the 5950X. Alrighty. It shouldn't take too long to install all that. One thing I haven't seen here is RGB fusion. Alrighty, so we're going to go, let's see, I think we've got a BIOS update for that. I think I've got F4. Moment of fantail. Okay. Okay, so I think we're looking pretty good here. Yeah, I don't have RGB fusion, which is a little bit weird. I might have to manually download it. Oh, it's found it now. Alright, yeah, they can... What was that there? Alrighty. Sweet as, one more reboot and we can just start benchmarking and stress testing.
You see window
What's that?
cleaner.
Window cleaner. No. Okay. So we should be all up to date. Alrighty. That app looks broken. This app seems to be working. Okay. Enough with that, it's not important. What is important is looking at our CPU temps while under load. And as you can see, we are well under 60 degrees. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So let's run the Heaven benchmark. So on high, no anti-aliasing, this is 1080p DirectX 11 mode. And so this number here below RAM is how many frames per second it's currently running at. So that was heaven. And so next one we'll run is valley. So this is a more demanding benchmark, and we also run this on ultra with max anti-aliasing, which is line smoothing basically. So once again, frame rate is below where it says RAM there, and I'm stealing another Fantail. And for our last one, we do it 4K. And this is also DirectX 12. Alrighty. There we go, 14,000. Not a bad score. Alright, so now we're on to the final part of our night. Alrighty. So as you can see, the 5950X makes very light work of Cinebench. Here's our graphics card. Looking pretty good. Okay, so this is where I just let it run for the next 90 minutes. We stress the CPU and the graphics card. And there's our 64 gigabytes of RAM at 3200 megahertz. So happy days. We've got our 32 boxes over here in Task Manager, and over here in Cinebench R23 we've got these 32 boxes that are working on this image. So that's our 32 CPU threads working on this, and we're also running a 3D game while we're doing that, so we're giving the system a good stress out. And if there's any issues with temperatures and stuff, I'll see that in hardware monitor here, but we just let this run for a 90-minute run, and I can pretty much tell what it's going to be like in 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, based on those 90-minute results. So yeah, that will be pretty much it. So I don't know how many people we've got still watching. I've got a few people still watching. So if anyone's got any final questions for me before I sign off, now's your time to speak. it's looking like that might be it for the night. So, no, happy days. The system all seems to be running pretty well. $59C on our CPU. Not bad. Too bad. Alright, well, I think we might wrap it up for the night. So thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all tomorrow in the next video.